Well, good afternoon, everyone. I want to offer you a word of encouragement this afternoon. Before I do that, I want to make a quick announcement. Our church, First United Methodist Church, we will be providing an online Maundy-Thursday service tomorrow night at 6:30. As a part of that service, we'll be celebrating together communion. We did that Sunday, did online communion with all of our folks. It was a powerful moment. And I want to do that again tomorrow night. It would be the normal thing that we would do to conclude that service. And we'll do it again tomorrow night. Over these last few weeks, essential, the word essential, has become a prominent part of our vocabulary. We've learned what the authorities have deemed as essential and not essential. Most often we have heard that those things which are necessary to be open to care for us, to provide food for us, essential items, those have been allowed to remain open. Many businesses have, and service people have been categorized as non-essential. And that's been debatable as to things that are essential, things that aren't essential, and what that may mean to me may be different than what it means to somebody else. And so, obviously, hospitals are allowed to remain open. Any business that is selling us food and those necessary items. But it's a debatable thing. It has gone back and forth. But let me tell you what's not debatable. Let me tell you what's not debatable about essential and not essential. And it is this, that you are essential. If you're watching this, if you're listening to me this afternoon, I want you to know that you are essential. And I want to illustrate that. Again, I want to take a passage of Scripture from the Old Testament. It's found in Psalm 139. And it says that before you were ever birthed, you were in the mind of God. That God had you in mind when you were in the womb of your mother. And He had a plan for you. Even at that early moment, He had a plan for you in your life. And if God planned for you, if God knew you, if God had blessed you before you were ever born, I can tell you in His eyes, you are essential. Doesn't matter what anybody says today, you are essential. And then what we read in the New Testament is that Jesus taught us that our Father is like a shepherd, that Jesus came and said, I am the good shepherd. Our Father shepherds us. And that what we know from a shepherd is that he knows every sheep that he's responsible for. And he has a name for each of them. And he knows them by name. Imagine that, a shepherd who may have 100, 200 sheep to take care of. He knows 100 or 200 by name. He knows if they're missing, because those sheep are essential to the plan of the shepherd. And I want to say that each of us are essential. Every human being is essential. And if that is true, that God has a plan, not only for us individually, but for us as a collective group of people. And God has a plan in the midst of this pandemic. And we may not understand it. All of us that are clergy or preaching pastors, we want to think we might know, and we've said some things, and I've said some things very openly about what I believe God's plan is. And today I'm living into the fact that His purpose, His plan is going to be made manifest, and part of that is we're going to experience a great, great awakening, not only in Jasper, Alabama, where I live, but across our state and our nation, maybe around the world. We're going to experience through this, and that's a part of God's purpose and plan. And as a small part of that, but yet as important as each and every person, you are essential. So I don't want you to let the chatter that you hear that may affect you in any way, I don't want that to be playing in your mind that you're non-essential. You may have a job today that doesn't allow you to work, that the government and the authorities have said is non-essential. But I want you to know, in the sight of God, you are as essential as any other person that was born on this earth. We are all essential, and I want you to live into that. And if you can live into that, then you're going to understand God's purpose and plan for the world in a better place that allows you to live by faith and to live into a new reality better as a human being. Thank you, and we'll see you next time that we're together.